right, thank everybody for coming. Let's open the meeting with the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Okay, Councilman Dunbar.
Present.
Councilwoman Harper.
Present.
Councilwoman Mazer.
Present.
Councilman Sofa.
Here.
Councilman Weaver.
Here.
Madam Mayor.
Here.
Councilman Zimmer.
Here.
Adoption of the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? Please raise your hand. Councilmember Mazer.
Yes, I'd like to amend the agenda under new business number 5. I'd like to add park and rec play equipment.
Madam Mayor?
Councilmember Sofa.
Just a question, are we going with our new format yet? With all this? Or are we waiting to adopt that later?
It will be adopted today.
Okay, so not, okay, I'm just questioning, like, when we have, just say unfinished business number 1, would that go up to D for, you see D, actually that would be E, for reports from committees? Is that where it would go in the future?
What I just said?
No,
No.
Oh,
no, for unfinished business regarding drainage sidewalks.
Yeah, but since that
So
was a
that would
committee
be under
report.
one of the committees.
That's
in
a
the
committee
future.
report.
Right,
Okay, so, but we're gonna just use this agenda for today.
right. Councilmember Dunn.
I would like to amend the agenda to include tree lighting under unfinished business 4 and code of ordinance review committee under new business part 6.
we already did.
What was 6?
Code of ordinance review committee. We established a date for tree lighting, but we never agreed upon a location.
And where was the tree lighting?
Unfinished business 4.
Any other amendments?
I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of minutes from September 2nd, 2025.
I move that we approve the minutes from September 2nd, 2025.
Do we have any amendments to the minutes? We have no amendments, so we have a motion to approve the minutes from September 2nd, 2025.
Supporter.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Reports from city council members and committees. And let's start with the committees first. Do you have anything from the clerk's office?
Oh, we're administration.
Oh, you're administration,
Committees would be the
okay.
DPW and
Okay,
stuff.
so,
Any committees that had anything this week going on or more?
okay. So if you have something in the agenda lower, don't talk about that yet, but if you have anything else Any updates for the committees? Councilmember Hart?
The Finance Committee met this last week, and we discussed grant writing. We decided the place to start would be to educate ourselves. So there's a webinar that we're trying to sign up for on October 20th. The question is, do we have to pay for 4 people or just one person, because it'll be one computer that we all watch? So, and it's through Michigan State.
And who will be attending that?
The Finance Committee, which is Councilman Dunbar, myself, Councilman Sofa, and possibly Mr. Wilson.
Awesome. Are there, Councilmember Sofa?
I believe anybody, if they're gonna allow more people than, I think anybody else wanted to join, it wouldn't be, if they could make it to that meeting, they would be welcome to attend, honestly, anyone on council. I would think, right?
Madam Mayor, anyone would be able to join that meeting, but we would have to treat it as a council meeting, and which is more than, that's fine. We just have to make sure we have the proper postings. We need to take meeting minutes of that. But that's definitely an option if the rest of the council would like to join.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Okay. Any other committee updates? Okay. I have submitted to attend a community project funding information session, which will be held online Thursday, November 6th. So I have already signed up for that. It is actually for community funding. And so I'm thinking that'll be very informative for us to help us, assist us to get procedures for next year's funding. So I'll be attending that in November. All right, any further council member comments? All right. Reports from the administration.
I got nothing.
You have nothing? DPW?
I have something regarding our water meters. I had a group chat with Vandenbrink, the engineering firm that's been heading that up, with Mike Brown, which is the owner of Michigan Pipe, that supplied us with the water meters, and Zenner Meter, which are based in Texas, and also Vanguard, who installed the meters in that. And they have put an action plan together to take care of the issues, big issues on it. And that action plan has been approved, and they should be starting next week to come back into town. Now they're gonna have to reach probably everything that they did do, they're gonna have to reprogram, and in the most expedient way they could possibly do it. And that's where we stand as of today on that.
Okay.
Okay.
But this was not a company that Memphis City that we contracted?
We actually contracted Michigan Pipe for the meters themselves, and then Zenner, I believe, is the ones that subcontracted Vanguard, the installers. And that's where our issue live is in installation of it, the programming of it got messed up.
Okay.
So,
But you've been working with them, and
Oh,
hopefully
yes.
we have a solution
yes,
in place that will be done expeditiously.
yes,
Anything else, Bart?
that's it to me.
Okay. Larry?
Yeah, I just, you got a spreadsheet on the, just kind of update on that grant. I'm not gonna go over it much. If you got questions on it, just give me a call and I'll try to explain it to you. Everything's completed except the meters now, and they're just winding up on some of the payments, some that's done but not paid for. And most of the money now will actually come up from Memphis rather than the grant, because the grant has only got about $40,000 left in So the last one we got, they're proposing, I think there's only about 3,000 or 4,000 from the grant, and the rest is gonna come on that 192,000 that we have to pay, so. So any questions, you just call me if I can explain it to you. That's all I have.
Okay. Mel?
Yes, well, we're working to get to the rental inspection ordinance. I'm working on some guidelines, that's all we're really lacking. I've talked with Steve and we're gonna try to get the guidelines ready for next month. Have it, you all to have a copy of them, but I'm gonna have to change some wording and get things taken care of. Hope to have it for you all next month. You can review it, and maybe if you can get it approved. Then from there, we'll have registrations go out in February. That'll give, and the actual inspections will start May 1st. That gives them 2 months to review the guidelines and 2 months to get their work in order to call for an inspection. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But I'll try to have everything together so the council will have a copy of it next time to review before, and maybe you can get it voted on next month. Okay?
Thanks, Mel.
Awesome, thank you. Parks and Rec?
Okay, so our art is being uninstalled from the Detroit Institute of Arts on November 4th. It's been a nice run, but all things must end. We have a senior lunch this Friday. There's a community trip scheduled for Stahl's Museum on November 1st. And I've been meeting with, well, one on the phone tomorrow. I met with somebody in person in a communication about grants for park equipment for the city. So that's been interesting, all this grant talk, I'm interested. And just beyond that, we have a wreath class coming up, and we're partnering with the Lions for a senior Christmas dinner in December. So
And the senior lunch is Friday, what time?
11 till 1.
11 till 1. And is that, does people have to reserve for that, or?
It's helpful if they text.
It's what age, 55 or
At
more?
55 plus,
Almost.
almost.
Stahl's Museum, what was that date again?
That's November 1st, which is a Saturday. Right now I'm at capacity, but we always have cancellations.
Okay. Any other administrative?
My grandson loved the car in the new park. The musical. My grandson really liked the car. That was a new piece, wasn't it?
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Public comments. Bob Riddle?
Bill, I live in 34551 Pratt, on the corner of Bellevue and Pratt. We started a discussion on the flooding I had in my area from the new building next door and the current thing. Looking for an update. I haven't got any calls, no phone, no people coming to tell me what's going on, no letters. What is going on, I guess. I need to know before, next thing you know, we get more rain, or it's too cold to dig, or next thing you know, it's spring and more water. I'm here to find out if there's anything going forward.
Barb, you know anything about that?
Last I heard, you guys were gonna get surveyors and stuff.
We did have a study done for the drainage within that area. They pointed out deficiencies and such. They did even give us a cost if indeed we had to do 100% your area and anything to the north and west and such, or east. That was like $450,000 worst case scenario. I'm thinking that having committee meetings,
That's on.
and that's on the agenda as far as where we're going to go with that. possible to kind of do certain areas. And obviously, you're right there. But anyways, it's further on the agenda.
Further down the rest of the year till spring or next year, or?
I'll know more when
I'm sure we're
council.
gonna get more rain.
Oh, boy, yeah, so,
So if it comes next week, then I'm flooded again, or the week after. It's coming fall, we're gonna get rain.
yeah, I can assure you, we're not going to be doing anything next week. This is,
Well, I don't feel that's a sufficient answer since we've been dealing with this
that's
since
the
spring.
best answer I have for you, sir.
Okay,
At this time.
I'll go forward there.
Okay, Terry Reese?
That's me. I'm at 81300 Bellriver Road, and I have questions about the water bill. And now I have an additional question since Bart spoke, and he said everything has to be recalibrated. My first question was regarding that. Recalibrated in meaning that they have to make contact with each resident to do this?
That's gonna be by household.
So
Some they
we
have to
go
gain
through-
access, others they can do reprogramming from the
From the
yard.
outside?
Yeah,
On the inside. The only thing I worry about is we now are 180 days, 2 billing periods into a guesstimated water bill. Now, I've called the city and I was told that they were guesstimating it, but last month the guesstimate for me came out at 171. This time it's now at 200 and something, roughly $30 more. Multiply that by 500 people. If it's more than that, obviously. That's $15,000, okay? My question is, how are they guesstimating it? When I did call the city, it was mentioned that, with the new houses and everything, and I certainly hope that the guesstimate isn't coming from households that are using large amounts of water versus single households, and from other people who have posted on my comments on one of the Memphis pages that gives results, that they're a single person, they haven't even been home, and I understand that there's a minimum billing for a certain amount of usage, I get that, but I'd like to know how they're getting the guesstimates. Is this going back a year and they're just doing from that month? So if I used a lot of water last year but didn't use it this year, I'm gonna be paying a higher amount. And for how long am I going to be paying that higher amount? Are you going to be refunding that money to us, or are you just gonna hold on to that money and apply it maybe at the end while you're sitting with $15,000, which is probably more like $30,000 if you had like 1,000 people here in town, right? Those are my questions, and how fast are we gonna be able to resolve this recalibration? Because we're already talking 2 months, we're already into the next billing period, and the city told me they hopefully can read the meters by November. Not looking good now that Bart just said about the recalibration, that just kinda sucks. I'd like to know, I kinda feel like first we were held hostage by those houses that couldn't, wouldn't, or didn't sign up, shut off their water. But the company supposedly was out of town. Does the company decide if we shut off water or not? That's a city decision, in my opinion. And not that you guys are personally responsible for this, but just in what has been going on with drainage, building, the water bills. As I've said before, you don't know what you don't know. But it just seems like everything that we've done just comes with all this baggage that maybe more knowledge would have kept us out of. There's a lot of big cities around that you can call and check with them. When I worked for Clinton Township for 15 years, when we didn't know, we would call a neighboring community to find out what their processes were to help walk us through it and stuff. One, just as a suggestion. But is it gonna be another 6 months? Am I gonna get, next July, I'm gonna get a $200 water bill above and beyond my normal water bill because the company that we've worked with, and just listening to you guys mention the names of, I think it's this company, I think it's that company, and nothing against you, because I get it. But, we ought to have the names of these people on the tip of our tongue and their phone numbers on speed dial. Honestly, if I was dealing with these companies on my own, not in this situation, they'd have been fired. Or the contract that I signed would have made sure that it had an end date and a begin date and what happens or any consequences that go along the way, because it's a huge project that affects a lot of people. I've got the money to pay the bill, okay? There's a lot of people who don't. that $30 is gonna be somebody's food. You know, so you add that $30, 6 months, 12 months, we have no end in sight. You know, we're recalibrating, we're almost right at the beginning, other than the stuff is installed. Bart couldn't even come over to my house and take a read, because they didn't bother showing him how to use the gun, but they left town. I mean, our head DPW guy wasn't told how to do anything. They just install them and we're done. Bye. Only to find out that we can't even go under there and read it ourselves, correct?
You can.
You can, if you have an electronic gun.
No.
Okay, so this is
There's a
different from what we
dial.
talked about
Yeah,
before.
in your case, you have a crawl space.
Okay, you
crawl
can't.
to it.
When you and I spoke before, it was only going to be electronically, so that's
Well-
changed since we spoke last time. And
Again, to do it from outside, you're correct.
correct, but I used to be able to go outside and look at my numbers to see if I had a leak. If it's spinning, you know, and everything's turned off, geez, I got a leak. Now, I can still do that, but I have to go into the house, correct?
Yes, so that's your
Okay, this-
dial
and-
on the one in your basement.
Okay, that makes me feel slightly better, because I like to compare what's coming electronically with,
Okay. Your comments have been noted.
sorry about that.
That's okay, it's just 5 minutes, everybody gets 5 minutes,
Okay.
your comments have been noted. I thank you for your
Right,
comments.
and stop the speeding on Bell River.
Okay. I can't read this name. James, is it James?
Mr. Hattie.
Patty, yeah.
James Heavy.
It's the same as zoning, okay?
It's very easy. All right, well, I'd like to talk about Bell River and the road. I was under the impression that the statewide was going to hot patch the road from opening it up for the sewage and the water, and they didn't, and it's all dirt. So if you park in your driveway, your car literally gets a bunch of dust and dirt all over it, because cars are going up and down the road. At the ZBA, one of the neighbors mentioned 200 cars a week, but it's more like 200 cars a day that go up and down Bell River. So I'm hoping that they will patch the road. Maybe when they start the project over on the other 2 streets, they're supposed to pave and redo the sewers and all that. They could come over and hot patch just that section, because we know that statewide is not going to pay for it. So that, and I just want to commend the ZBA for doing all the hard work on the ordinances and the variances and all that, and Mr. Dunbar, Mr. Weaver, and my neighbor, Mr. Fields, on the hard work that they did for many years to keep this a pleasant place to live. Thank you.
Comments have been noted, thank you. Mr. Fields?
Jim Fields, 80263 Bell River. First thing with the water meters, Bart, thanks for the update on that. It's good to note that there is a possibility to read them by hand, because at one point in time that was stated it wasn't possible, so that's good. To pick up on where Terry was, I don't know where your contract was with these people, but you know, it seems like there's this common pattern that, you know, the city is becoming the fall guy for bad contractors or bad actors. And this, to me, seems like we got another contractor, did a job for the city and they didn't follow through, and now here you are with the city in a bad spot, and now you're dealing with citizens that are upset, and it puts you in a bad spot, and it's not your doing, and it sucks. It sucks as a citizen because we pay for it, you know, eventually we pay for it all. A great point is we're in the second cycle of having these estimated bills. I would just point out maybe to think about a plan for people that may be on a fixed income, knowing your population base, what's going to happen when they get a real meter reading and it may be higher, and somehow being able to work with not penalizing those people for this situation that they're put down on, because the $30, $40, $50 can be a lot. You know, if you got an estimate of $270 and then all of a sudden you got to make up for that. I know I had an issue when they built my house with DTE. They missed my billing for 7 months and I got a 7-month electric bill. And that was a big deal. There's nothing like walking out to the mailbox and getting an electric bill for $3,300 that you weren't expecting. So, you know, I would say maybe consider something like that, because I think you're gonna have some people that may have an issue if they do get an actual bill. As far as Lois and Robert, is there any update on a timeline? I know we're into the second week of October now, and we're gonna be up against the asphalt shutdowns. I'm seeing it on my job sites. And, you know, again, you know, contractors not keeping up with your stuff, and they put you in a spot where you're in the line of fire, and it's not fair, but, yeah.
Monday.
Monday.
Confirmation today that they will be starting on Monday.
Yes.
Fantastic,
And I just received that within a matter
fantastic.
of hours, so.
Fantastic. First time I've ever seen you not in the city gear. You're like Rico Suave tonight. I just
I
want to say
dirtied them
that.
I dirtied them all, that was it. I know.
You're shining tonight.
He cleans up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up on what Jim said, and I want to thank everybody on the council. I want to thank Mr. Dunbar especially, and the mayor for putting up with everything that's been going on the last year and a half, 2 years. There's been a lot of things that have been flying around, and everybody worked their way through it, and we're coming out of the back end of it. And I agree with Tammy. I think we've had some short words together on how we move forward, and I'm in total agreement on moving forward. So I'm looking forward to support and change and structure, and there for support. Off topic, not related to you, but as far as the developer and the homeowners association, you have 14 homeowners. Okay, so this association is something that they've told you this and that or the other things, and it's been a big mess. Their hand is being forced to turn that over legally. So hopefully we get that resolved, and then you're gonna see more of a collective of the 14 people that are there. And then hopefully we can get this stuff off of you guys, and we can start putting more pressure on the developer to help us and help the city's position. So I just want you to have the heads up. I don't want you to be blindsided by that, especially Bart and DPW. Okay, that's it.
All right, comments have been noted, thank you. And the public comments. Presentation and approval of the September disbursements report and electronic wire transfers. Excuse
You
me?
just asked for public comment?
No, he actually ended it. These
Yes.
were,
Do you have to sign up before?
Yes. Did you have a public comment?
Yes. I've noticed several times that police have been sitting just past the pit, the quarries on the uphill side, hiding in trees, shooting his radar down. And aside from being a disgusting thing to do, because that to me is a speed trap, but aside from that, there's cars coming the other way, and the radar cannot work at those angles. Whatever ticket he gives is invalid, and it's just wasting your time. I talked to the police chief about it, but I think just that ought to be stopped. We're not that kind of a city that traps people. And I've driven almost 2 million miles. Safely, courteously, and there was one ticket. And I'm proud of that. Okay, that's what I have to say.
Okay. Can you say your name and where you live,
My name
please?
is John Petnato, 81420 Bell River Road.
Thank you, your comments have been noted.
Thank you.
All right. Presentation and approval of September disbursements report and electronic wire transfers. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve September disbursement report of $1,269,990.67 and electronic wire transfers of $31,926.63.
Support. Doug's not even here for it either. That's like the big one. It's so crazy.
Bill,
I know.
Do we need a roll call vote for that? or-
Mhm.
Just ask. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Communications, can I get a motion to enter the communications on record?
I make a motion to enter the communications on record.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Knights of Columbus, Tootsie Roll Drive. Thank you. All right, the Knights of Columbus Council 10501 of Holy Family Church would like to use the intersection of Main Street and Boardman Road on October 10th and 11th from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for their Fall Michigan Tootsie Roll Drive. The money collected is donated to those with intellectual disabilities and the Special Olympics. Can I get a motion?
I make that motion to allow the Knights of Columbus with those October 10th and 11th dates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mechanical Inspector Bill Karras resignation. There we go. City of Memphis, dear Mayor and City Council, it has been my pleasure to perform the plumbing and mechanical inspection for the past 9 years, but it is time for me to scale back the inspections. So I regretfully am notifying the city that my intention to resign from the plumbing and mechanical inspector position. I will continue the inspections until you can find a replacement for the position. Do we need?
Same way.
Same way? Okay.
No.
And is there any comments, questions?
You have to vote on that.
Okay, we do have,
I move, you want me to make?
Councilmember Harper?
I was gonna make the motion that we accept, that we accept Bob Karras's resignation.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the resignation from Bill Karras. Bill Karras. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Michigan Municipal League regarding pool director election. This I think we're Okay, Councilmember Sofa, do you have any information on this?
No, the MML, they come out with the, it's just every year, usually when these folks run, they run unopposed. Right here, you're voting for 2 directors, there's only 2 directors that you can choose from. So that's usually how it goes with MML elections. So basically, it's either we don't vote at all, or we just vote for these 2 that are available.
Okay.
So I move that we vote for Michelle Lavoy and Josh Moringa for the directors, was it the Directors Pool Fund Administration.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the Michelle Lavoy and Josh Moringa on the ballot for directors beginning January 1, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished business. Councilmember Weaver, drainage and sidewalks.
We had a DPW committee meeting on the 24th. We went over a number of things. It's included in your packet. I trust you all had a chance to look at it. No parking signs on the west side of Pratt. Mr. Dunbar said those orders have been placed for those signs. We talked about the DMJ recommendations. There was 8 of them that they gave us, and this pretty nice report that they did. It's quite in-depth. Had a lot of information. However, we did note they did not shoot those elevations that were 2 of the items we asked for in that specific motion that we voted on and passed. Bart's aware of that, and he's going to keep you filled in on what's going on there. Reminding us on the west side of Pratt, which has a lot to do with the drainage. We wanted to confirm whether they were accurate or they weren't, so that we had done our due diligence there for any future issues we might have with that. So we have the overview of the 8. I broke them down 1 through 8. You can read them at your leisure again if you choose to. But we did discuss what we thought were of priority. And out of those items are named in there 1 through 8. Item 1, Bart was going to contact DMJ regarding they wanted to do they recommended a television documentation of damaged systems to assess exactly how bad they are. Put a camera down the drain. Pretty standard procedure for underground infrastructure. It brings a quote on how to proceed with these ones that we have broken out. So altogether, just the numbers go up in the $400,000 range. Item 4, we highlighted, that was the issue of trapped water from city property, from the swales and the side yards that are on the east side of Pratt, where 3 new houses were built. The westerly flow of water just doesn't have anywhere to go there. It's going to have to either go underneath the sidewalk or some other solution. To go west, it has to go on the sidewalk. We needed to get some more clarification on what that would cost us to accomplish, because they are going to continue to have those flooding issues there. We highlighted item 5, which was drainage structures at Bell and Lois, where it crosses underneath the road, which a camera will again shed a little bit more light on that. That is really a priority fix. So that whole subdivision is going to be tied into that drainage there, going across the road and through the swale and to the eventual detention pond, whenever that might be built. Item 6 is quite black and white. There was a 12-inch pipe installed between 802.27 and 802.63. BMJ said that is undersized, and it needs to be replaced with a 24-inch culvert to properly handle that flow. I don't think statewide ever really even notified us they were putting in that culvert. It was just supposed to be an open swell. Due to elevation changes, I think it was put in there for that reason. So that has to be done. That was an outright recommendation. It's pretty easy to understand. Item 7, storm, sewer, cross culverts and drainage structures at the intersection of Bell and Pratt. They are just not functioning. And this is leading to a lot of issues with Bob's property and other people along that section of Pratt River Road. They're recommending drainage structure be replaced, pipe connections. There's an outlet pipe there with a 12-inch reinforced concrete pipe that needs to happen. So that's what's the pleasures of the council. Numbers 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have, and number 1 also, which Bart's taking care of that one. But there's a priority list that we came up with. So would anybody like to discuss any preferences? We have 8 pieces of that report that we're dealing with on how you would like to proceed. This was the committee's recommendation.
Would any of
Councilmember Hazer?
Would any of these recommendations help Mr. Riddle's situation?
Yes.
Which one?
Number 7.
And wasn't that the
And
main?
number 6.
Because I understood that that was the main reason BMJ was doing what he did.
What reason was that?
to try to help figure out if the grade and everything, why he was getting flooded.
Well, there's a number of issues involved, but not just one. There's 8 of them there that they recommended to us in the report. Those were 8 that they identified. And they also coded them, you know, if you want to get an idea of where they are located. You know, on these maps here, every one of their descriptions, 1 through 8, it highlights exactly those locations up and down the road in that neighborhood. So it's a pretty good thorough analysis. The ball's in our court, what we want to do with it.
Councilmember Sofa?
So I mean, this is stuff that the city's gonna have to do. Is that, is this in our budget, Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, what was your question?
Is this in our budget
No.
right now to be able to do any of these
No,
work? These
no, definitely not. If you let me, I want to make a comment. I did talk to Paul Bailey, the auditor, that our audit will be done for the last fiscal year. He should have that within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And what I would like to do, and which I will do, I will analyze every account from a financial standpoint. And I'll give you a readout of what money's available, and then I'll also give you a readout on what we've already recommended to spend. And then you can determine what money is available. I can tell you now the $450,000 would hit that, in my opinion, but I'll get it done first, but I don't think that we'll have any money for that, not in the near future. We got phase 3 of the Bell River Road, I'm sorry, Boardman Road. We got a $500,000 grant, but we'll have to come up with approximately $600,000 to $700,000 ourselves. And and that's scheduled for 27, 28, which is not that far away, but I'll analyze all of it, and I'll give you, and if you want a special meeting to discuss it all, I can do that, or we do it in a regular meeting, but I won't have that till we get the audit. So that from a financial standpoint, but what you could do is get figures on every one of these, and then kind of itemize what we might chip away at some of it. But unless we know the actual kind of a cost, we can't do that either. So you may want to do that. You may want to get itemize it, or what you think's prioritize it.
We did that. We prioritized some
And then
items that we do want to
go and
do.
get some figures on that, and then we can. Once I get my figures all done, then you can see, well, what can we do? Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. I don't know. But I do have to have analysis of that audit, so I know where we stand. So,
Thank you.
And I understand, Mr. Wilson, your point.
Councilmember Dunbar?
During the DPW meeting, we had talked with Mr. Dunsmore about exploring some lower cost patches, as we had discussed, specifically item 1, running the cameras through our existing infrastructure to determine, exactly what the weak points are. Item 4, which would be the damaged culvert running under Lois and Bell River, and the swell item number 5, which those are item numbers, not list numbers. Those are 2 different numbers, which is confusing. But that's the swale in between Mr. Fields' house and I don't know your neighbor. I'm sorry, Jim. But Mr. Dunsmore said he would explore that. Have we heard back on that at all? The camera, the swale, replacing the.
Well, because of the dollar amount for running camera, I really seek council approval. I have no idea. As far as the expenditure, it's one thing to say, okay, we're gonna bring a camera, but that could run us up $5,000 to $10,000.
But we didn't get a quote on that?
No, I think, again.
Well, wasn't the camera recommendation further down towards Benton and Bell River?
That and throughout the whole system, what we did it in-house, there's that, I think it's a 12-inch that crosses from Lois heading west under Bell River Road. I didn't camera it, but I wanted to make sure at least it functioned, and we did actually hook to a hydrant. And it's definitely carrying the water.
Okay.
I can say that much. I would like to go to Pratt Road and Bell River Road and and see where we're at in there. I do know there's some ditching. We almost gotta piece this out to what's it gonna cost for this area, what's it gonna cost for that area, instead of saying, oh, it's $450,000. If we can just, to relieve some of the problems that we have, we really need to have somebody give us prices.
For each
Again, I'll say
piece.
for Pratt and
Right.
Belver and so on and so forth.
Councilmember
It's not broke
Sofa.
out.
So do we need a motion to, just, get some bids for all of this work? Is that something that we should do here tonight?
Well, I
Maybe
think-
bids.
I think that's the next step is to,
Like the camera and like get the, if you got these priority lists, make a motion to get bids for the camera work, for the scoping. Would be probably a first step. Right?
it's
If that's-
obviously.
If that's your priority, I wasn't on
It's
the committee,
obvious
but.
we can't do all of this.
I know, but,
But if we have a priority list,
so we should,
put it in priority order and get a monetary amount for each so that we can look at it from a standpoint of what can we do, what can we start with.
right, so would you like them,
Councilmember Weaver.
I appreciate, Mr. Wilson, your concern there, and we discussed that earlier. My concern overall, though, is like a lot of issues here, we need to go ahead and break this down, and we need to get prices, and we need to go ahead, we just can't let this keep laying. So this is what the purpose was, of prioritizing it, getting the initial study. So I would agree wholeheartedly with Councilman at the end of the table there, Mr. Sofa. Let's get some quotes on board. We all know we're not gonna write a check for $400,000. But you can't fix it, you can't do anything until you can measure it. And that's what we're in the process of trying to do. So I would really like to see us move in that direction at the minimum and have BMJ follow through with that. They are engineers of record right now. And also to remind them that we need those heights shot. That was part of
And
the
again, Councilman Weaver, I gave you a drawing that shows there were shots, but they call it a LiDAR, which I'm assuming that's satellite imagery.
Those are two different things,
But it's
Bart.
color coded.
That's just a topographical map. There's
They
specific
call it what you
monument
want, but
numbers
they
that we asked for.
fulfill their contract by doing it that way. If you want them to come out,
I just asked you to inquire about it, that's all. Just, see what they have to say. I mean, we did, that was part of our motion. It was not done. I'm just bringing it up to make everybody aware of it. If you don't want to follow through with it, it's council, that's fine. But I asked those monuments to be
Councilmember
shot.
Sofa.
do we have the authority to send BMJ on their property? I mean, I'm sure you allow them, but can we do that? I don't know if we can.
you got a mirror?
Yes. Yes.
Cameron, I do not need an engineering firm.
No, not for a camera, to go
But
on private
that was
property
brought
and do
up.
elevations.
I wanna say that runs roughly $200 to $225 an hour. So that kinda gives you an idea of how many hours would this take. I wouldn't know until they got in there and started cameraing and documenting it, so we have something on CD or whatever we use today. As far as what Councilman Weaver keeps asking for is for BMJ to physically come out and take grade shots off, I think, property irons and such. That was not the scope of the work for this drainage. But to get BMJ involved in camera, I've never done that before. When I got to do my sewers, the storm drains and such, I generally call them in on smaller areas, because I know it's usually within my budget to do that.
Well, BMJ already did the engineering on the scope of this
Exactly.
whole thing. So we're not gonna send anything back to BMJ, because they've already done their work. So what we need to do is get
I just
quotes.
keep hearing that, that's what I mean.
So
Right.
what are your top priorities, Councilman Weaver? As far as getting quotes, what do you?
Open to council discussion. I listed them there. Pretty much, that's
Your
just a-
committee came up with priority list, what are your
Yeah,
priorities?
they're all right there.
So you got them as number one, is the first priority thing?
No, we need to prioritize, that's what I'm asking.
That should go back to committee then.
Well, we feathered out a few of them that we didn't think that we would be able to address immediately, but items 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are on there.
Okay, so if we have 7 items that are, however many items that are highlighted that you're saying are priority, I think that the DPW committee should actually put them in priority, like what needs to be, what is the highest, thing that needs to be done. Council member?
The highest priority is Mr. Riddle and the flooding.
There's one other
And I
one.
do believe that Councilman, this one, said that 6 and 7, correct,
So 6 and 7 are priority 1 and 2?
were what you thought.
Well, but that's what I don't want to tie up council. I would like to see DPW committee come in and say, these are our priorities, this is our recommendation. We recommend to get quotes to see what we can accomplish with this being the highest priority, and this is the second and third. Councilmember Dunbar.
Madam Mayor, we had discussed prioritizing recommendation 1 because it would give us the scope of where all of our infrastructure is, and we thought that was a necessary to determine. And then we prioritized, at least my understanding, we prioritized 5, 6, 7, and 8 as a collective, being while they're individual items, if you fix an individual item of those 4, you're just moving the blockage of water. So by fixing 5, it's now transferring to 6. By fixing 6, it's now moving hopefully to 7, and ultimately they're all going to item 8. So it was our goal that we could get that we would receive a quote for the camera work so that we could understand exactly how much it would cost to get an idea of our infrastructure. And then we had discussed Mr. Dunsmore sending a letter to statewide asking for them to correct item 6, being as that's private property that they still own, it is not ours, and BMJ recommended that they installed infrastructure that was insufficient. So there was that recommendation, and then we had talked about item 5 being possibly able to be resolved with the current road construction while they are here, dig up the culvert, put it in, and repave that portion of the road while the equipment's right there. I don't know if we received those quotes, but that was where we had left the meeting as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Weaver.
No, we did not receive any quotes,
But
we did that,
we're on the
what we
same
put on the
page.
table, yes, sir.
Councilmember Zimmer?
I had a question, and I missed our DPW meeting because I was recovering from surgery, but when you guys talked about this, and Bart, you might be able to answer, would any of these be resolved with the retention pond when it's put in? Because I feel like item 8, changing out a 24-inch culvert for a 30-inch culvert with a brand new retention pond, is that still a priority? Or would that still be a priority, I guess?
Let me back up on,
Just curious.
Councilmember Dunbar just spoke. He talked about replacing a culvert going on Thunder Belver Road right near Low Street. And I forgot what they wanted to increase that size to.
Yeah, they wanted to double it, I think,
24.
12 to 24.
I talked to him, Vanderbrink, seeing that this is their project over there. And he says that's to put a 30-inch or 24-inch, anything bigger there's not enough earth cover. So they would have to dig the road further, deeper. And if you want to put that, whatever size culvert, deeper, then that's going to deepen everything, ditches and all.
A point of clarification?
Yes.
Councilmember Weaver?
The 12 to 24 is referring to the pipe on the west side.
That's plastic you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not talking about what's going underneath the road.
Yeah, but that was referenced, so that's why I want to address that.
Well, I just want to
did
clarify
talk.
that. He wasn't recommending a 24-inch culvert underneath the road. He was recommending replacing the 12-inch plastic culvert between those two addresses, between Mr. Fields, Mr. Hattie's house, is that true?
No, it's not.
Okay,
Well,
between to the south of Mr. Fields' house, swapping that for 12 to 24 inch.
They're recommending to go up to a 20 inch or 21 inch or something.
Right.
21.
But anyways, the bottom line was, when I was seeking a price to increase that size of that, particular, pipe under Bell River Road in westbound, they said they couldn't increase it, there's not enough cover, and in my mind, there's not, the only alternative to put that size pipe in is you have to dig deeper, so you're gonna paint, the proper cover over that pipe. And that pipe happens to go right to that plastic right now. And this is why I initially was in favor of writing a statewide letter regarding that 12 inch to increase it. But because of the cost of the, well, I should say it was a cost, but it turned into, they really can't do it without continuing down the road to match the grades.
Because it would go lower and then high.
Yeah, you stop, you know, you got like a 20, turn a 12 inch, now you're gonna put a 20 or 24 inch in.
Right.
And that's gonna be low, and so you understand what I'm saying now, right?
We have a bump,
And that
like we did on
stops.
Pratt. If you did it, you have a bump,
One at
right?
a time, please.
Sorry. Am I good?
Yes.
So we'd have a bump like we used to have on Pratt, right? Like there'd be
Yes,
an
yes.
8-inch
and-
bump in the road that everybody hated and,
Exactly, and it's on the rise again because of that, the
Yeah.
lack of cover. And that makes no sense to, it's not gonna get utilized to its fullest extent unless you dig everything deeper. And
Okay, I've got
that just adds the price up more and more and more. Right now, I don't believe that 12 inches is a hindrance to anything, based on my view.
It
Councilmember
sounds,
Sofa.
okay, and it sounds like the DPW committee has some priorities. Someone from that committee who's familiar with this should make some sort of motion for us to discuss and vote on.
And it's all this too.
And not a blanket thing, probably one thing at a time, a project, or, you know, cameras, is that what it's gonna be, cameras or what?
Yeah, just a point of clarification for our receiver, I don't know if we're understanding each other here, that 12 inch pipe, that's on the west side,
Yeah.
Bell River. That's down the road, that's a few yards down from where it would be feeding in from the lowest subdivision. So that's just kind of acting as a drain, I mean, that's already downstream of whatever's gonna feed that underneath
Sure
the
it is.
road. So I don't see why we're correlating that 24 inch size with what's going to
Because
feed into that ditch.
That, if you increase the size of that, that takes it right into that particular ditch, if you will, to that 12 inch. Which
I'm just talking
the
about
elevations
isolating
aren't working.
by itself, just isolating the issue of the 12 inch to the 24 inch.
Exactly.
That's all downstream
Yeah,
from
but I don't
Bell River
see
Road.
at this point to mandate anybody to increase the size of the culvert, that's really not being utilized. Do you understand what I'm saying?
If this conversation that's going on, sounds like something that should have happened at a committee meeting and not right here. So make some motion, let's vote on something, get some work done. That's what we're here for. If you wanna have a DPW committee meeting, have one.
So, yeah,
If you can,
the points are valid. I totally agree there, but I think it came to council prematurely. They need to be, we cannot vote on 8 points without any monetary estimates with them.
All right, I'll make a motion. May I make a motion? Don't have to vote for it. But I'll move that we proceed on item 1, item 6, and item 7 with cost estimations, notification statewide. They should be changing that 12 inch culvert. That's work that they need to do regardless of what other issues are involved. And then item 7 is regarding,
Make one, like a simple motion at a time. She's gotta take notes, put it in meeting minutes, and Just,
I wanted to have scope of work, because there's confusion on the scope of work on the two motions I made for BMJ to study, so I really want to make sure I'm clear. Item 1, item 6, item 7, put out requests for proposals. Statewide should be issued a letter informing them that 12-inch culvert needs to be changed to a 24-inch culvert per the BMJ's.
can you separate these?
I thought you
The
said-
letter should be a different motion, and then we're asking for bids. Asking for bids should be one motion, and then sending a letter, make that another motion. Because that's
Okay.
a lot to make
Sure.
in one motion to vote on.
I thought you just wanted me to wrap it all up in one. I misunderstood. I'm sorry. So we separated into, we have agreement, I could separate it into 3 motions for cost bids on item 1, 6, and 7?
To get bids, that makes sense.
That's my motion then, that's the first one.
Okay. I will second that motion.
Okay.
Just to get bids.
Yes.
Hold on.
Well, we can discuss.
Hold on.
Make a motion, a second, it's time for
To get
discussion.
bids for,
Now it's time for discussion.
get bids for what? We're talking camera, we're talking repairs or what?
1, 6, and 7. You're gonna explore bids for 1, 6, and 7.
I thought they were gonna camera them first, get a bid on that.
No, that's not the motion on the
Well,
floor.
but- so-
Maybe that motion should have been made first.
Okay, we
That is on the
have,
floor, it's item 1.
To scope it, to pay for
To
camera?
get a bid for it. Gotta get a bid
Yeah,
for it.
that's
before we
number
do it.
one.
Yeah, number 1 is the scope, is the camera.
Yeah, to get, number 1 is to get,
And that's for the entire project.
well, that's what we're missing here. It says conditions of existing facilities be scoped by camera. What, where, how long, how much? I mean, that's,
I think it needs to go back.
it has to go back to
committee.
DPW committee. I
So-
believe.
Well, someone motioned and seconded.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have a motion to get bids on 1, 6, and 7.
Do you want to do a
All in
roll?
favor? Or well, let's do a roll call. Let's do a roll call vote on that.
Okay, Councilman Harper. Councilwoman Harper.
No.
Councilwoman Mazer.
No.
Councilman Sofa.
No.
Councilman Weaver.
Yes.
Mayor, Madam Mayor.
No.
Councilman Zimmer.
No.
Councilman Dunbar.
Yes.
So I have Councilwoman Harper, Mazer, Sofa, Woodrum, Zimmer, no, Dunbar, and Weaver, yes, so it denied.
Okay. Councilmember Zimmer.
You can go.
I would like to make a motion to send this back to committee to prioritize so they can give us a clean motion that we can vote on at next meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to send this project to be prioritized with a cleaner recommendation from DPW committee for next council meeting.
Mazer,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Woodrum,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar,
No.
Harper.
Yes.
It passed. I have 1 yes, but no votes.
I'd like to make another motion then regarding this before we move on. May I? Statewide should be notified that they need to change that 12-inch culvert to the 24-inch culvert per our BMJ inspection.
Support.
Sofa.
Wait,
Hold on.
we can discuss.
Yeah,
that.
now we're
Motion's
discussing.
made, second.
This is the one you were talking about, Bart, right? Changing from 12 to 24 would
That's
create
one of 2, yeah.
problems in the road.
Which culvert is this?
Yeah.
This is the one in between Mr. Fields' house and
So
his
it's
neighbor's.
not on Bell River.
It's not on Bell River, it's in between.
This is
It's
One at a time,
It's in
please.
between two property, it's in between the 2 homes. That's the one we're talking about, it's private property.
Councilmember Zimmer.
So this is the east-west
That would
not
be, yeah,
north
this
south.
would only be heading westbound from the.
Yeah, but it's
from the
not
west
the,
ditch.
it's not the north-south that would cause damage to the road,
No,
correct?
correct.
Okay.
Councilmember Soto.
My question is, what kind of authority do we have to tell them what they can do on that private property? Like, you have to put this in, has it been inspected by us? Do we have something in our code that has to be that? BMJ might have said something, but it's after the fact, you know, it's not, was there something that is it in our ordinances that it has to be a certain size, or was it inspected by somebody for us to say that they did something wrong? To make them do something on private property. It's private property. BMJ can say whatever they want, they have no authority over private property. If those homeowners want a
Okay,
different
Mr.
pipe in
Burns.
their yards, they can take it up with their
Mr.
building.
Dunsmar has something to say.
This all came to our attention through our drainage study from BMJ. And that's when they pointed out that this 12-inch, did statewide come to the city or engineers to ultimately put that size tube in?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's what I wanna know, is like,
So,
did they skip an inspection and just do something? And we already have things on the books for that, we can send our inspector over and say, hey, tear it up. It's what you would if you did a deck and somebody didn't put the posts deep enough.
as far as I'm
You tell
aware,
them to do that. That would be up to our inspector to go, hey, it's wrong.
their internal engineer told them that was a size, but I don't believe BMJ told them or was even approached, nor the city, that, hey, we gotta put a culvert to X amount of feet and run it to the west. And we weren't approached on that.
So,
So if our engineers are saying it should be 24 inch, and that's what it should be. When should they do this? They should have done it to start with.
well, that's what I think, is my thing is if you buy a property, a builder come build a house for you, they do things within that private property, whether there's two houses next to each other or not. That sounds like a dispute between a builder and a buyer. It sounds like a dispute between two neighbors sometimes, but really between a builder and a buyer. Did the builder do something wrong that the buyer is being affected? Then the buyer should take that up with the builder. Unless the builder did something that was against our code. And is this mentioned in our code?
I do not believe so.
Okay, so they wouldn't.
It came to light when we ordered.
Is there
them.
water coming through that culvert?
I've never went back into the so-called detention pond area, which is already a detention pond, without the walls. Does it flood right in that one particular ditch that would carry that? I don't believe at this time. I didn't think in the springtime it actually went underneath the water, but it may have. I can't swear to it.
Cause I just wondered.
But I would just, to follow what our engineers are recommending, that should be changed, but it's not within the city's properties for us to hire somebody or have myself go in there and tear it out and put a new one in. It's kind of it's private property now.
Councilmember Harper?
It looks to me like possibly Mr. Fields has some feedback on statewide
Yes.
on this subject of property owner versus statewide. So can he speak?
Mr. Fields?
So, the prints were approved by the city, and they were supposed to build X. They didn't build X. They raised the grades. They added the pipe between our houses as an afterthought when they realized the pitch. So that never came before the city. They did it on their side. So they snuck that past the city. So BMJ is now recommending that that is undersized because it is designed to carry the load. If you go back to 2021, when you started reviewing this engineering project, BMJ went on record 3 times with the recommendations for the drainage. The drainage recommendations by BMJ sent to the city were not implemented and pushed on the builder or have them held accountable. I've been documenting this to them for 18 months. It's all in there. So the builder just did what they wanted to do, and now you're stuck with the aftermath. Again, bad actor, and the city has to deal with the problem. The 12-inch to 24-inch between lot 4 and 5 should be changed per the engineer because it follows the path. If you look at your map, the topo drainage comes from 19 west, goes out into that cornfield, always did, and went south next to Mr. Zimmer's house. That 24-inch needs to be there because the load is supposed to be designed for all that water to go between our houses. The city has an easement filed, signed by statewide to enforce that. That's an 18-foot drainage easement. The 18-foot drainage easement between lot 4 and 5 at the back of all our properties is part of the city's infrastructure. It's a subdivision.
So
Even though it's condominium,
do we have
it's a
that easement
subdivision.
on file?
Absolutely. I have records of all of it. Yes.
Yeah, but I have the records of it, but
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
anyways.
So,
Madam Mayor, I have seen the signed easement documents. I haven't checked them specifically to where they are, but I have seen that statewide
Okay.
has filed easements with us.
If that's the case,
Councilmember Zimmer.
so we need to vote on this motion, right? If, I mean, I feel like.
to send them a letter.
To send them the letter, that was the motion.
Well, I have a concern just saying we're gonna send a letter when it's clear that we are unsure of exactly whose responsibility it is and what. There's been a lot of talk, but I don't feel comfortable making a decision based on what you've said. And now if I read it, and if we, but that's, again, that needs to be determined before we can vote on it. I'm not gonna, but we can vote on the motion.
Well, no, we can,
Well, we have to vote on the motion.
I make a motion to amend the motion,
Absolutely.
that we do our homework and make sure that our easements are proper and make sure we have the authority to compel them to do this work.
Councilmember Zimmer?
I would make sure to include that in the letter too. Like, once we verify that, I think it should be part of the letter that we send to them. That's where there's no rebuttal for them, like, here, it's black and white.
Here's your easement language, says we have an easement. Here's BMJ that says you should have done this.
You didn't.
And we have a utility easement through there, and we can compel them to do the
Councilmember Barbara?
Madam Mayor, my fear with that would be once they turn over the homeowners association, I'm not sure we can compel them to fix the infrastructure that they have established that is undersized.
Even with the easement?
Why would,
They're the builder. They did the work, they're liable, they did the work. I mean, I
Well,
would
the
imagine
homeowners
it would be.
association would have the.
Then it'd be the homeowners association to deal with them.
Yeah, I would think, I mean, worst case, we send it to homeowners who sends it to the builder. I mean, either way, it's gonna get sent to the builder, so I think cut out the middleman and just send it straight to the builder. Like, I agree with that. I think include,
Either way, we need to
verify,
We
like,
need to
with his
verify the
amendments.
information before we just send
I
a
agree.
letter.
So, I have the amended motion has been seconded.
second, the amendment.
I'd like to discuss that before we vote on it, very briefly. Again, easements. I hope you have seen signed documents, because all I've ever received from them is blank ones. And that was part of my heartburn with this whole process. So if they do indeed have signed documents that give the city of Memphis easement rights, we can go on that property and do whatever we choose to do. That's the reason for those amendments, or for that easement. They had a problem with the detention pond, they don't want to come out. They have a problem with the replacing the pipe, they're saying, that's not my problem anymore. They want to, whatever reasons they give, that gives us the authority as a city to go in there and take care of the problem, so that we can take care of our neighbors and not have them flood. So if they do indeed have an easement document signed, we can go in there and do whatever we choose. It'd be nice if they would go out there and fix their own problem, but I just wanted to make that comment before we vote.
Okay, Councilmember Bursofa, what was the amended?
Well, his amendment would be to send them a letter, or his motion would be to send them a letter. My amendment to that would be to verify our authority via easement, verify our authority to compel them to do the work that we need done.
Prior to the letter.
Prior to sending the letter, let's verify our authority. And I also like to know if that's the only easement they have going through houses, or is there one right by his house, because that'd be nice.
Let's quit adding,
I know, but
adding
it's good.
questions. Councilmember Dunbar.
But that's it.
Madam Mayor, I believe what Mr. Sofa is trying to do is motion to postpone.
We could do that, and then, yeah, I could do motion to postpone indefinitely.
No, we don't wanna do it
It
indefinitely.
doesn't matter, no, you can't.
If you do it indefinitely, it never gets picked up again. No, indefinitely means you don't pick it up again.
Yeah, no, indefinitely means you pick it up when you get to it.
Madam Mayor, indefinitely would just mean we don't have a specified
We
date.
don't have a
and could pick it up
specified
at
date.
any
We-
point.
Yes, that's all.
But there's nothing compelling us to act on it.
Yes, there is, these folks.
I understand that, but there's no like timeline for us. There's nothing holding us to timelines to act. Right, I feel like we need to
You
put
can
timelines
postpone
on
to a
it.
certain time, postpone till next month.
That's-
Councilmember
yeah.
Dunbar.
Madam Mayor, I formally move to postpone until next month.
Second.
Okay, the motion is to postpone this till next month to gather the correct information in order to possibly send a letter. All in favor? Or you want to do it, roll call?
Only if somebody calls for it.
Unless somebody says no.
I'm gonna vote no, so
I'm
if you
gonna vote
want to
no.
just note my objection, you
All
can.
right, so I have, hang on, let me think for a minute with all these motions that will be voted on. You-
Wait till next month and then we vote on it
Yes.
again, and then it waits, and then it waits.
Zimmer, you are yes?
I'm a no.
You're a no? Dunbar?
No.
Harper?
No?
Mazer?
Yes.
Sofa?
Yes.
Weaver?
No.
Okay, so I got Zimmer, Dunbar, Harper, and Weaver, no. So motion failed.
Which means we'll be sending him a letter.
No, that means nothing to
That means
us.
we need another motion. Councilmember Zimmer.
That was to postpone.
That was to postpone till next meeting.
I would make a motion to, or how? I move to make a motion to confirm our easement rights within 14 days and then subsequently send notice to statewide of our easement rights and request applicable changes to the piping as outlined by BMJ. I
Support.
think that covers it.
That's worded
sounds
better
good.
for sure.
So we have a motion on the table to,
I have no discussion.
Easement rights 14 days.
14 days.
And then send a letter to the state.
Yes.
Madam Mayor,
Councilmember Dunn.
I move to amend the motion to include that DPW will verify this information within 14 days.
DPW committee?
Committee, I'm sorry.
I can do it in one phone call. I really can. Yeah,
If we have an easement.
if we ever get through this, I can.
Okay,
We got 14
Anyone's
days.
I'll
for that.
second that amendment, that's fine.
okay, so we have
We're
a
getting there.
motion.
Dunbar.
We're getting there.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to specify we're
Oh,
only
geez.
voting on the amendment
We're
right
voting
now.
on
No, the amended
the
motion.
amended motion.
I think the amendment of the motion could fail though. If you all, but yes is the answer.
Okay. Harper?
Wait a minute,
Yes.
discussion on the amendment. I agree with Mr. Dunsmore. I think we don't need the DPW committee to investigate this. This is what we have city department heads for. I think Mr. Dunbar is perfectly capable of verifying that information. We don't need that on our agenda.
I want to agree with that. Leave me alone. I can answer this with a phone call. And based upon
Well, we
that,
can't answer it with a phone call. We need the information.
well, you're going to, one phone call is going to tell me if we have an easement there or not. And if we have a right to do it.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I've been doing this awful lot of years and
Instead of committee, just make it.
biting my tongue.
Madam Mayor,
Can't operate this way.
I move to rescind my amendment of the motion.
You're overcomplicating it.
Mhm.
So the motion we have
Postpone till next month. And then we'll go straight.
It's.
No, it's the 14 days.
14 days to
14
verify
days.
and then send a letter to statewide. I feel it, Madam
Okay,
Mayor,
It doesn't have
do
to
you
come
have that
before us again.
document?
I got a copy.
Can you get it to us within 14 days?
Donna's got the document, she's the one I got.
Done. We can have it in 14 days.
Yep,
Okay.
I've sent it
And
to
then,
all.
once verified, the
Then we
letter
send-
gets
Then
sent.
the
Yes.
letter can get sent. Correct.
Perfect.
Can I just do one overall?
Okay.
Okay. Parker,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar.
Yes.
Mayor,
Didn't see council member, sorry.
That's one day.
This was supposed to be quicker.
Yeah, it will be there. Definitely.
So I don't need to make a phone call?
Nope, we'll get it.
We'll get it.
Number 2, City of Memphis Rules of Procedures, Councilman Dunbar will speak. Councilman Dunbar.
Madam Mayor, in July, I was delegated with the responsibility of putting together a rules of procedures for the city council. In all of your packets, there should be a 6-page, well, 5 and a little bit extra, rules of procedures or bylaws. I have extensively reviewed dozens of other municipalities. I've looked at example rules of procedures from MSU, MML, done a very thorough job. That being said, this is definitely a project that it is probably outside of the scope of one person, as these are the rules that govern all of us. So I would move that we accept the bylaws and rules of procedures as presented and send them to a designated committee to review at their own leisure if they want to enact any changes to the document.
second. And what committee would that be recommended to?
Well, this is the discussion.
So right now, we have a motion to accept the Code of Conduct bylaws and the rules of procedure as submitted and forward it to a committee. Which committee?
Which committee?
I feel like we all know.
I don't believe it should be advisory because they have a lot on their plate. I would also like to be on the committee just because I think there's a lot of things I know. So I didn't want to volunteer 2 other people to do it with me, but I would think that me and a combination of any 2 would be.
Would you,
We could do a special.
you want to create a special committee?
Yes, please, I'd like to.
I'll volunteer myself.
Should we do that before, or just do this and then we'll create the committee afterwards?
No, I think it's part of it, to
Part of-
review it.
Oh, it's part of the motion, okay.
Yeah, I'll volunteer to be part of that committee with Councilmember Dunbar. So we'll just need Councilmember Soto. There we go.
Okay, so the motion is to accept the Code of Conduct bylaws and rules of procedure as submitted, as well as put it to a committee of Councilmember Dunbar, Councilmember Zimmer, and Councilmember Sofa to review.
Just to review, and I think it looks good as is, but we'll see.
Okay,
And then
who made the motion? You?
and then I second it.
Okay. Mazer,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. That's really good idea. Parks and Rec grant, Councilmember Dunbar.
Madam Mayor, we had most recently discussed the trail markers, maps, and signage project in, I want to say, July or June. I have compiled a new outline of our budget. The project is to be completed by October 25th. So if council is unhappy with the submitted budget, which I don't believe you have in front of you, or was it put in front of them?
It wasn't
Just this.
printed.
You can't email.
Okay.
You sent
I
it.
did email it, but if council is unhappy with the presented proposal, that we meet as soon as possible to come up with an acceptable one. That being said, there will be 2 new park hour signs at the municipal park. Those signs are very old and they don't look very good, so I designed them in such a way that it would meet, or that it would be comparable to the other, you can pass these out. These are various different ones that are just in the same template and format, so you can get an idea of what the signs would look
There's
like.
one in the back too.
They do have the QR code like they did last time. I would recommend that we still establish a designated landing page for that QR code for points of interest. We wouldn't use it to advertise any businesses. It would just be the 5 points that I have listed. And if for some reason we can think of other points of interest at various times, they can be added to that site. We could provide a link so that the Chamber of Commerce can advertise for local businesses and the Duck Days Festival, but it would just be an interactive experience to get people to try and visit things in our city they haven't before, whether it be the thin plaque and the Storybook Trail. There are 3 different loops in the trail. I did not like Loop A, Loop B, and Loop C. That seemed lame, so I named them Wilson Way, Dunsmore Drive, and Alumni Avenue. I think that's very fun and cute. I don't know if anyone else has
What
it.
about Clegg? The Historical Society's been going for the thing,
Yeah.
and it's Clegg. What about Clegg?
Clegg Court? I don't know, I was going for
Something like that,
alliteration.
because I know Historical Society's been, they're putting it on the signs now for, the thing.
Yeah,
And,
Clet Circle, Clegg Circle.
whatever. you
Quite
want.
way.
But just to use a historical name, Dunsmore's pretty historical.
We did name the trail Wells Trails as.
Oh, that's a good one, I like that.
Yeah, so I did make sure to.
Wells and Clegg are really, yeah.
There was the motion in like 2014 to rename Park Boulevard, which I don't know how to rename a road. So I just thought renaming the trail would be something that's a lot easier and more manageable. There would still be 5 signs throughout. 5 signs throughout the city. There would be you've arrived at a point of interest sign along with the general map of Get to Know Memphis at the Historical Society / Museum, the Thing plaque, the Storyboard Trail, and it would show you all of the other places of interest on that map on where you could visit. And then there's only one scenic overlook that doesn't have a bench. With this proposal, we would get a bench for that scenic overlay, and we'd get 3 picnic tables for the little back open space picnic area.
I think it looks great.
I like the bike rack too.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So what are you looking for here?
I would, if there are no,
Make a motion and we'll discuss it.
yeah, I would motion that we approve my proposal as presented to spend $6,518 and $98 on the allotted items. 6,500 of which will come from the grant.
I second that motion, but I think now that we're time for debate, Mr. Dunsmore has some words.
The only thing I'm questioning is, I heard something about open and close signage for the park, hours of the park.
Yeah.
Is that just referencing the Bellriver Park or all, 1, 2, 3 of our parks that have existing signs? Because I need to order signage.
Okay.
If you got some different idea, I don't want to waste money on signage if I'm not going to use.
So it would be the same sign I brought in last time, the aluminum composite sign. The new park hours one, which I was gonna size 14 by 16.
Okay.
They're running us $43.74. So I could get more if you wanted to.
I just thought to keep it uniform to
Yeah.
all our parks, which is, they got the 1,
Right.
2, 3, we have no signage up the downtown park.
Okay.
the black color.
Yeah, there's 2 in that park down there.
Right.
And then yes, I could add on more if you want the rest of them to match. I think that's a
Just
great
keep it
idea.
uniform, yeah,
Yeah.
so when I call the order, they can go back on the record and say, item number, what have you. Where were you going to, for the signage, that's all I'm asking?
Signs.com, they were the only place I found where I could upload custom artwork and then print it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have a motion on the table to
Did anyone say anything else?
I seconded it.
to approve the budget for the Michigan Trails and Greenway Alliance Trail Markers, Maps, and Signs project.
We just need to vote.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wayrum,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
All right, Number 4, tree lighting location.
Madam Mayor, if I may speak on that.
Councilmember Dunbar.
We hadn't decided on a location. There was some discussion about whether or not it would fit in the park, which seems very cramped, whether or not we would want to do it outside of current City Hall or possibly do it in front of new City Hall. When reflecting on it, I liked the idea of doing it in front of new City Hall and possibly instead of going into the fire station after tree lighting, we could use that opportunity to show off our new
Yeah, you
building.
just put in the electric.
I was gonna say.
Okay. Mr. Dunbar, or Dunsmore.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I just spent some hours relocating a pipe for a tree,
Okay.
and that's like the 4th time I've relocated it. And plus, I added some electrical to accommodate this new location in this Millennium Park. Now I'm hearing you want to move it to in front of the new
I think we should
City
wait.
Hall.
I think we should wait.
That's fine.
Did you make a motion?
Nope.
Say something
Okay.
on that.
Yes.
The fire department has everything here too, and they do a huge part of it, helping us,
Right.
all the setup they have here. So they assumed they were still gonna have that here.
And I like the fact having the tree visible on Main Street. Where they did put it is in the bigger grass area where they took out a tree.
Near the end.
So it will be not crammed up by the pavilion, it'll be out. So I think it's in a better location, but can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion just to add to, because I mean, honestly, nothing's changing if we're not changing the location. So we don't need a motion on this actually. Because we already said it's gonna be there at this time, and it's at that park at that time. So whoever plans it or does things, just gonna have to kind of, you know, where the choir or the band sets up, will just be a different angle. I mean, no big deal. I think it's a great location that you moved it to. And we'll revisit later.
Okay, no changes. New business, administrative memo number 2, budget amendments.
I'll just make a motion to approve the budget amendment. That was for the fire truck and the water and sewer, water financing authority.
Second.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wayrum,
Yes.
Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
All right, Memphis Fire Department dress uniforms. Okay, so they're requesting approval to spend $6,500 to purchase dress uniforms for members of the Memphis Fire Department. The last time they were purchased was 18 to 20 years ago. Okay. So they were purchased by the Department of Auxiliary. That group no longer exists.
Sounds like they have the money to replace it.
Yes. They'll take it out of the equipment replacement fund.
Madam Mayor, I motion that we approve the $6,500 to purchase dress uniforms for members of our fire department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the dress uniform request from the fire department. You just want me to do it?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Memphis Lions Club regarding updates to the youth center.
The Lions are requesting permission from the city to paint the exterior of the hall, replace interior hall lighting with LED lights, replace the 5 steel doors, steel frame and steel frames, and run power to the concession stand. That is the new gray building, involve electrical service and sub-panel. We need permission to do that since the city owns the building.
I make a motion that we allow these changes to the city-owned building. It's only improving it.
Second.
I just have a question, where's the money coming from?
Grant. Be approximately $20,000 in infrastructure improvement for those items. And also the parking lot will be getting paved, the road up to the ball field, the existing ball field, and the earth, that is earth underneath the pavilion will also be replaced with asphalt also, all together with a few other miscellaneous projects that we wrap into. We'll be putting about $250,000 into that area.
But it doesn't cost the city anything.
Well, you said the grant was 20,000.
No.
I said 20,000 will go into the infrastructure for the new Lions Hall.
What color are you painting it? Is it gonna match?
Whatever color they want, I don't know, we'll talk about it at the next meeting, I guess.
But if you want permission to do,
We'll
do
get your
maintenance
permission
work.
too for that.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what.
We don't know.
what
I don't know either.
Okay.
It's just permission to paint, to do maintenance.
Sure.
Neon. Yeah, the
Like-
hot shot green.
Well, yeah, if we're giving
Because-
permission to paint. it's-
Yeah, like, when we gave permission to build the new shed out there, it was to match the color of the building, and they don't match right now, so I feel like asking that question is not out of the realm of ordinary.
No,
Crazy.
absolutely.
I think somebody mentioned Graves, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Okay, rock and roll. Don't talk about the Lions.
Okay. Zimmer,
Yes.
Dunbar,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Major,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I know, you just get hurt.
I gotta say,
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman.
It's okay.
Councilmembers.
Item number 4, fire department pump intake shut-off valve.
This is the first one.
Okay. So, it, no, that's not it. You got it. Okay, their Chief Pratt is requesting approval to spend $2,113 to purchase a pump intake shut-off valve for the new fire engine. It's an accessory item that is not included with the new engine. How convenient. To allow the pump operator to regulate the flow of water into the pump from either a hydrant or another fire engine. So there is a valve on either side of the engine. Can I get a motion?
Madam Mayor, I motion that we spend $2,113 to purchase a pump intake shut-off valve for our new engine.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the fire department's request for $2,113 for a necessary pump intake shut-off valve for the new fire engine. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Parks and Rec play equipment.
Okay, so, there was some money in the budget, about $2,000 from St. Clair County. And I had purchased, was placed earlier this year, a new piece of equipment. Some of you have seen it, you said your grandson liked it. So I thought, spiff up the park. We got another piece of equipment. Shipping is always an issue. It's a big part of the cost. But I found this dome climber. I have a color picture in my book. It's white with red, blue, and yellow dots. It's quite attractive. I just thought it would be nice to add that to the park. But it's a little over the budget. For like $400, $400 or $500.
Is that because of the shipping? And we're talking about the park down at the Bell River
Yeah, because the funds were
for
St.
that,
Clair County.
St. Clair County.
Where is it shipped from?
Holland, Michigan.
For less than $400.
Watch out, Bart, you come
Mr. Dunsmore.
I think it's great.
Uh-huh.
I know MML many years ago ordered us to take out monkey bars down there. I don't know.
You're saying
Talk to
for insurance
MML about this
purposes.
particular piece of equipment. I'm all in favor, just don't get me wrong, but I just remember tearing something that I used to play
Yeah.
down many years ago, and they were the time and hang on and that.
Okay, I think that only goes like 4.5 feet high or something.
Yeah, the fall is 5 feet.
So, can we make a motion to
Just check
ask
with,
MML?
yeah, that's all,
Yeah.
that's all, man, I'm just,
I make a motion to approve it under the contingent upon MML's approval of us having something like that.
Second.
Okay, we
Yeah,
have
I
a
think it's
motion
great.
to approve the purchase of
Climbing dome.
the climbing dome.
New name, the dome climber.
Don't call it a monkey bar.
Right, dome climber, pending MML approval.
Okay, my comment would be, who's gonna get the approval? Does
I will.
you,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, number 6, Code of Ordinance Committee. Councilmember Dunn.
Madam Mayor, we have recently had the large condominium project, which definitely exposed some weaknesses in our ordinance, specifically 51 feet, 56 feet being road width. I would suggest that we create a committee made up of both council members and planning commission members, as any zoning ordinance change has to go through both of those bodies. I would recommend we pick maybe 3 from each body, or 2, 2 of us and yourself, being that you could represent both bodies. But I definitely think some attention should be given to our code of ordinances.
Any discussion?
Is that a motion?
Not yet. I would motion that we create an ad hoc committee of myself and I thought you raised your hand.
No, he's pointing to me. He loves to volunteer.
Mr. Zimmer and Madam Mayor and 2 planning commission members who shall volunteer for such committee.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to create an ordinance committee to evaluate ordinances, changes, made up of Councilmember Zimmer, Councilmember Dunbar, and myself, the mayor, as well as 2 planning commission members who volunteer.
I have a question. Are you gonna go to the next planning commission to solicit those volunteers?
The next planning commission
Yes, tomorrow.
is tomorrow, and I don't believe I can make it to that meeting, but
You know, I'll call them up.
yeah.
You'll be there?
I'll be there.
There you go. Just curious.
All right.
Has that motion been seconded?
Yeah.
I second it.
Yeah, Jason, Councilman Sofa seconded it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Can we get a cool one?
All right. Well, I just have a couple things. You may have noticed. What's that?
Oh, nothing.
I have one question real quick, it's nothing. I got received a letter about putting a sidewalk on my yard in the spring. I okayed it, is that gonna happen?
Eventually.
I mean, this year you think, I just wanna come home and see diggers in my yard.
It won't be this year.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Okay, yes.
I think there was an issue with the crossover from where the houses ended and that ditch.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that had, Bart and I
There's
talked
3 of
about
us
that.
there.
Yeah,
We all said,
yeah,
okay.
Bart and I talked about that, and it's just figuring out how to go over, because that is where all the
Yeah.
water will run through. So it's just figuring that part out.
And the idea of it was to be able to walk to school.
Safety.
So at the end of the new houses, 2 behind the dugout, they're gonna have to figure a way to connect that too.
Well, I think that's probably school property.
Yeah,
Oh, no, there.
we can get the school to do a little asphalt.
We probably
It
have
should
to.
be connected.
I think that was
That was the
That's down the
a
road.
spring project, Bart?
Yes.
What's that?
Spring?
For what area are we at?
Or those
The
sidewalks?
sidewalks.
The sidewalks in front of the existing.
I would say it'd be closer as we proceed or don't proceed, I'll know more, but there's nothing written. Nothing in concrete.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if we caught that. Nothing in concrete, Bob. but,
Sure, okay.
Hopefully, it definitely won't be this year.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Okay, I just had a couple things. The city offices is doing a pumpkin carving contest for businesses. Call the city if you want your business to participate or if you have any questions. The pumpkins just have to be ready for judging by October 31st in front of the business. You have to actually say that you want to participate, right? Okay. Is there no fee for that? Just, no, okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
can I ask a question about that?
yes.
Does it have to be a brick and mortar business, or could there be space found available on Main Street for, say, a home-based business that wants to carve a pumpkin and leave it there? Or could they put it near City Hall?
Put them all in front of the doghouse.
Yeah, just let us know where.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I think the more the merrier.
That'd be, yeah, home-based business.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Okay, the Chamber of Commerce is also doing an Angels of Light again this year for the tree, before the tree lighting. We do have the letter, they will be at the city, so they can donate, and we will have locations. We'll be putting it out on Facebook and the webpage so that people can, they donate for somebody that they want to remember who has passed. And all the donations do go to Blue Water Hospice, which supports Memphis Hospice in both St. Clair and Macomb counties. So it's something we've done in the past, and the chamber wasn't able to do it for the last year or so, so they are bringing it back. But we did always have a lot of participation for that, so just look for that. And if you have any questions, we'll have information at the city offices. Okay, and that's all I have. Oh, did you get them? Okay, that's all I have. Councilmember Mazer,
I'm good, thank you.
Councilmember Dunbar,
Nothing for me.
Councilmember Weaver.
We neglected to discuss sidewalks, I just want to know real quickly, it was on the agenda, but we got so involved with
Oh, yes.
drainage. I believe, Madam Mayor, you and Mr. Dunstmore were going to accumulate data. Just wondering if that got done.
No, it's in progress. We did come up with a scale 1 to 5, 1 being highest priority, which is missing sidewalks. Any uneven sidewalks over 2 inches that are a trip hazard are as number 1 priority. So that's what we're kind of going around and looking at everything. So I'm taking pictures, we're looking at everything. There's a lot of sidewalks that look terrible, but are, I think, just need to be cleaned and edged. And that will help us in the evaluations, because there's a lot of sidewalks in town that are difficult to walk on, not because they're uneven or broken or things like that, but we're getting, and there are some residents that are taking it upon themselves to clean up some of our sidewalks. So I look forward to that program continuing and working that. But yes, I have been walking around town, taking pictures and getting a list of the number 1 priorities to begin with. And then once we have that completed, then we can come in and determine how many sections are needed, and then we can, it'll be submitted to council.
And the trees too, we're identifying trees are a problem.
We're identifying any trees. I would like to have a tree person look at them, because I'm adamant about just not taking out a tree just because it's, if it doesn't have to come out. So, yes, if it is part of the reason why the sidewalk is heaving, that is another annotation on it.
That's all I have.
Councilmember Harper, Councilmember Zimmer.
No, ma'am.
Councilmember Sofa.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I don't think
If there's no objections, we are adjourned.
Yeah.